Hello, I'm North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame Media Director Bill Palanuk here on behalf of the Dickinson Noon Lions Club. We're at the 2018 Make-A-Wish benefit, and I'd like to introduce to you our very special guest, Miss America 2018, Miss Cara Mund. Cara, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Miss America. Wow, when did it sink in? When did your feet touch the ground? Or maybe they haven't yet.
Yes, I don't know if they necessarily have. They're getting closer. I've hit the halfway point at this point, and so, I'm very grateful. But I still wake up every morning and can't believe that the dream came true.
You graduated from Century High School in Bismarck, correct? And there's some alumni there that's rather famous. I think there's a football player, but anybody can throw a ball. But to become Miss America, wow! Has your alma mater, have they reached out to you and expressed their congratulations? I'm sure they have.
Oh, absolutely. So I actually got to do a school tour in Bismarck, and so I made sure to stop back at Century and let the kids know what it was that made me who I am and how I got to that Miss America stage, and then even my college also invited me back.
You began pageantry at a very young age. How old were you when you first entered a pageant?
Yeah, so I did my first competition when I was 5, but North Dakota is not known for pageants by any means, and so I didn't really know what I was doing, but I liked the opportunity to speak in front of a large group of people. I liked being able to perform on stage and do it for enjoyment rather than the more competitive dance competition atmosphere, and just the whole part of it. I think it gave me a sense of confidence that I didn't necessarily have before. And so it definitely is what led me to take on my first event with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, where I had the willingness and the determination to start my own event and then even go on to Brown University.
If you could go back and talk to that 5-year-old, that youngster, the young Cara Mund, and tell her any advice, does anything come to mind as far as what you would tell that person?
Absolutely. So, my dream this whole way was to become Miss North Dakota. And I never expected that I'd even get to Miss America, let alone become Miss America. And so, I tell all the kids to just keep dreaming bigger. And I kept thinking, because it had never happened for us before, that I wouldn't be the first one to do it. And I proved myself wrong. And I realized that at the end of the day, the only one who can limit you is yourself. And it doesn't matter where you come from or how many other states have the opportunity that we've never had, or they're given opportunities where we have to work really hard for them. But I think that's what made me stand out once I got to Miss America.
You're studying law, and you have an interest in politics. In fact, you were an intern for Senator John Hoeven. I'm sure that was interesting. What did you learn there? What did you take away from being an intern for Senator Hoeven?
Yes, it was one of the best experiences I've had. And so, I walked into the office and I wasn't sure what to expect, but I think what I realized is, he as an individual, he cares so much about the people of North Dakota. And every person that calls in from our state, he wants the opinion. And, he wants to try to write back and do as much as he can to give back to the state. And so that's something I really appreciated. And I realized, that's why I love the state that we're from. It's that personal interaction, that North Dakota nice aspect, and he definitely embodies that. And then he actually invited me to be his guest at the State of the Union. And so not only did I had the opportunity to work in his office, but I had the opportunity to go as one of the North Dakota guests and sit and hear the future of America.
Did you spend any time with his lovely bride, Mikey?
I have,
She's
yes.
a wonderful lady, isn't she?
Oh, she's amazing. So we had the Miss America homecoming in Williston and in Bismarck. And in Bismarck, I got to sit next to her for dinner. So
wonderful, wonderful. You've also expressed a desire to become the first female governor for the state of North Dakota. Why? Why do you want to become the governor?
Yeah, so I think we need more women representation just across the board. As governor, the fact we've never had one, I would love to see one. And just like winning Miss America, I want to show all those young girls that there's a role model that's willing to take that position, and that you can be the first one to enter an atmosphere that has been all men. And so it's really exciting, and I just knew when I won Miss America that there was no stopping me at that point.
So you see politics in your future.
I do.
Wonderful.
Yes, if I can be the first Miss America from North Dakota, maybe I can be the first female governor.
Our current governor, Mr. Doug Burgum, and I'm sure you visited with him. What kind of job is he doing now?
Oh, it's a huge job. And, I think after his first year, he's really taken on, embraced it. And it was exciting. I got to have dinner with him, and then he actually introduced me at one of our events. And so to get introduced by the governor, that was pretty exciting. And then he already knew. He said, you got to be 30 to be governor, so I have a few more years. And it was funny.
You've traced your roots all the way back to a lady by the name of Victoria Woodhull, I believe, and she was the first female to run for president of the United States. I think that was like in the 1870s, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Tracing your roots back and documenting history and things, is that something that you see as being important?
Yes, I would say so. I really didn't realize that we were related until I got to college. And I kept wondering, I had these qualities where I kept thinking, I can do this and I can do this. And I realized it came from a strong group of females within our family and females that empowered one another and lifted each other up. And so I was so curious, what is the history of women in our family? And that's how I found it. And
there's a strong movement in 2018 for empowering women. Is that something? I'm sure you're very well aware of that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And as Miss America, I serve as representation of all women. And so it's really important that I let them know that, anything that they want to be, they can do, and to never limit themselves.
Wonderful, wonderful. Your schedule, does it take you abroad? Do you go overseas? Where are you going to be going through the summer months?
Yeah, so it's all based on booking. So as of right now, I'll stay within the United States. But on average, I change locations about every 48 hours.
Really?
I travel about 20,000 miles a month. I go from hotel to hotel. I live out of 2 suitcases. I don't have a place to call home. I sold my apartment or, gave the lease to someone else. And so for this year, I could be a hotel reviewer. That's what I say.
Well, you heard it here, folks, that Miss America is now homeless.
Yeah, it's true. I live out of 2 suitcases.
Oh, and I do know your travels bring you back to North Dakota coming up this summer. You're making an appearance at Champions Ride at Home on the Range in August, and we're greatly looking forward to your presence there. And, there's a lot of rodeo royalty that the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame is involved with. In fact, we're doing a podcast with the current Miss Rodeo North Dakota, and what ambassadors they are for the sport, and what an ambassador you are for the state of North Dakota. Any advice for the rodeo royalty in North Dakota?
Yeah, so just letting them know that they are such huge role models. And there's so many young girls and young boys that look up to them, and even those older than them. And so they're given this platform and given this voice, and I've realized that as Miss America, and so to use it to their best advantage. For me, I remind myself every day that I only have 365 days to be Miss America. But within those 365, I can make an impact that lasts a lifetime, and that's the same with them as well.
Reaching out and making an impact on these young girls and having the passion that you have for the state of North Dakota, I think I'm a big admirer, Cara. I really am. It's wonderful how far you've come along, and we're so proud of you here in the state of North Dakota. And, we talked about documenting our roots and things. My mother founded the Ukrainian Cultural Institute here in Dickinson, North Dakota, and her name is Agnes Palanuk, and today they had a Easter egg decorating event happening at the Institute, and I went and I talked to him and I said, would you like to give something to Miss America?
Aww.
And so the class got together and decided on this Ukrainian Easter egg. It's got the North Dakota wheat on it, and on behalf of the folks in North Dakota, we present you with this gift to Miss America.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, this is so special. My grandma actually collected eggs. And so when she passed away, I had requested that I got her whole collection. So this is actually the first egg that I'm adding to the collection.
Well, I love it when a plan comes together.
Yes,
How nice.
yes.
Nice. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your representation of this great state. Miss America 2018, Cara Mund.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.